Hello, welcome back to the last video of the semester. This is all about the hyperbola. And it's the third shape that we're working on in chapter 9 to learn about some of the different pieces. So the hyperbola is kind of like taking the ellipse and kind of cutting it in half and having it go the other way. And a hyperbola is the set of all points x, y in a plane such that the absolute value of the difference of the distances from two fixed points in the plane is equal to a fixed positive number d, where d is less than the distance between the fixed points. Each of the fixed points is called the focus of the hyperbola. Together they are called the foci. So this is sometimes used to create shapes like this. Could be used as a vase or like a beaker in science class, something like that. But the foci are outside of the shape of the hyperbola. And so where we're looking for comparing the A and the B and deciding on the vertical and horizontal is a little bit different than in the ellipse. So if you flip the page, it gives us how to determine these. So a horizontal transverse axis, meaning where they're facing open to the left and to the right, is when A and B are both greater than 0 and x is first. So A and B are greater than 0 and x squared is subtracting the y squared is the horizontal right here, the horizontal. The vertical, where they're opening up top and opening down bottom, is a vertical one, and that is when A and B are both greater than 0, but the y squared is subtracting the x squared. Okay, the y squared is subtracting the x squared. And then the foci are found from there. This time our c used in the foci is found to the square root of a squared plus b squared. So not the difference like on the ellipse. So that's a little bit different. And then of course, if you flip the page, we could have our center. So our center on the first page is at 0, 0. But our center could be shifted as well, H and K. So we're going to look at a couple examples. So the first example is x squared over 16 minus y squared over 9 equals 1. And so this tells us that the x squared is minus the y squared. And so this is a horizontal hyperbola. And we have A is equal to 4 and B is equal to 3. And so on this one, our center is just at 0, 0. And our vertices are at a negative A, 0 and A, 0. So that would be a negative 4, 0 and 4, 0 on those. And then we have to find C. So C is 16 plus 9, the square root. So the square root of 25. So C is equal to 5. And so to find our foci on this one, it's a negative C0 and C0. So our foci are negative 5, 0 and 5, 0 on that one. If you look at page, letter B, it has a different one. So this one is the y squared minus the x squared. So this one is vertical. And this time our A is 8 and our B is 6. And our center is still at 0, 0. And our vertices this time are at 0, negative A and 0, positive A. So at 0, 8, negative 8 and 0, positive 8 for those. And we have to find C. So C is the square root of 64 plus 36. So that's the square root of 100 or 10. And so our foci are at 0, negative C and 0, positive C. So 0, negative 10 and 0, positive 10. And our last example is here, example C, and we can see here that we have some shifting. So we're going to have to use the descriptions on the last page for the shifting here. So we have the x squared minus the y squared. So this is a horizontal again. And our center is at a negative 5 and a negative 1 because h is a negative 5 and k is a negative 1. And our a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 4. So our vertices are at h minus a, k, and h plus a, comma, k. So h is a negative 5 minus 5 because a is 5 and k is a negative 1. So one of them is at a negative 10, negative 1. And the other one is at h plus a, comma, k. So that would be a 0 and negative 1. So those are the vertices. And then the foci are centered around C, and C is equal to the square root of 25 plus 16, or the square root of 41. And that is irrational, so we're going to leave it 41. We can't simplify that. And the foci are found by taking h minus c, comma, k, and h plus c, comma, k. So this would be a negative 5 subtracting square root of 41, comma, a negative 1, and then negative 5 plus the square root of 41, comma, a negative 1. So please reach out if you have any questions on those.